Hey, Christy.
Hey, Edith.
What do you call a horse that says no to riding?
What?
A naysayer.
Hi, I'm Christy.
And I'm Edith. We're backyard gardeners from Colorado.
And neighbors.
And friends.
These days, gardening has gotten very popular.
And we've noticed more and more people picking our brains for tips and troubleshooting about gardening.
We're not experts. We just learned a lot about gardening from the mistakes we made along the way.
So welcome to Upside Down Tulips,
a fun podcast that celebrates gardening gone wrong.
Upside Down Tulips.
Hey, Christy.
Hi, Edith.
I'm still laughing from that joke. How are you?
I am good.
Did you have a good week?
I did have a good week because we had that one thing that fell from the sky.
Ah, the rain.
The rain.
The rain was the good news. You know what was the bad news? There was a 16-wheeler that dropped 40,000 pounds. That's 20 tons of chicken poop on C-470.
What a waste.
What a waste indeed. And yet a microcosm for the year 2020. Don't you think?
And can I say something else about 2020? As long as we are on this train, did you look at the weather for next week?
Yes.
So, folks, in Denver, the low is supposed to be 35.
Yes.
So, after everything 2020 has taken away from us, now it's going to take away fall? We're not going to get a fall?
We're going to get it back. It's going to be near 100 degrees on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And then Monday night and Tuesday night are going to drop into the, high to mid 30s. It'll come back. It will.
And will you cover, and under those circumstances, will you cover
I will cover
plants?
some of my stuff, yeah. Not everything. I'll cover the tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And basil.
For sure. And the basil, of course.
I can't cover the whole yard. It just breaks my heart.
No.
Like, zinnias get really sensitive.
Well, that's their own problem, isn't it? They could have a tougher skin.
I give 2020 1 star.
And I'm sure that you have just disappointed 2020 soundly.
Good.
Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough for everybody, Christy.
I have something else to share with everybody today.
What?
Which is that, I just want to talk about that text that you sent me on Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
So we were texting back and forth about getting together, and then you said, have to get a COVID test. Don't know how long that's going to take. And you know the feeling when they say your stomach goes up into your throat?
Yes.
That is exactly the feeling I had.
Oh.
I called Edith. I dropped my phone. I called her right away. And Edith answers the phone and says, "Hello, Christy." And I go, "What's going on? Are you okay?" "Why? What's going on?"
I'm sorry. I'm in the habit of sending rather terse texts. But no, I was fine. It's just that I'm going to go and visit with some friends of mine that are not in the very best of health. So I'm going to get a COVID test. And Christy, it was super easy. Here in Denver, I went to the Pepsi Center. It took 3 minutes and it was free.
Oh, that's great.
It was amazing.
Well, I got to say, I've never felt so relieved in my whole life. I wasn't worried about me. I didn't even think about me. Of course, we're really good. We're always 6 feet apart.
Yeah.
But I was just worried about you.
Oh, but that's sweet of you. But I'm fine. I haven't gotten the results back yet.
Oh, you scared me so much.
I'm so sorry. Oh, that was thoughtless of me. I'm sorry.
Well, Edith, how's your garden going?
My garden's going really, really well. I've been harvesting, cucumbers, tomatoes, lots and lots of tomatoes now. Zucchini,
finally for you,
finally, beets, and
careful what you wish for, Edith.
Exactly. But you know what else that means? That means I bring all the produce in, I lay it on the counter. I swear to you, I look away for 1 second, I look back, and I've got fruit flies everywhere.
Oh, that's so annoying.
So fast. So, you wave them off, and they fly up, and they sit on the cupboards. So I get my fly swatter, and I hit one, and they disintegrate. They don't just die. They literally, because they're so tiny. The one right next to it, not 3 inches away, doesn't move.
Stubborn.
I know people like that.
It's a teenager. Teenager.
It's a teenager, or it's one of those people that go, well, it didn't hurt me, so I'm not moving.
Right.
Right? So I've got fruit flies, which are really not nearly as bad as other vermin and whatnot. I went down to my daughter Gretchen's house, and I helped her weed her garden.
You are a
Christy.
good mom.
Well, yeah. Christy, she has 33 spaghetti squash.
Okay. All right. I bow. I bow in what's the word I'm trying to find?
Wonder?
Wonder. I was going to brag that I had 13 spaghetti squash.
Well, Christy, it was kind of an accident. She has 3 plants. I said to her, I made her seedlings, and 2 came up in one, and I said, you should take 1 out.
It's so hard to do, though.
That's what she said.
The little baby.
So she didn't do it. So now she's got 33 of these massive. And what do you do with them? You can't throw them through the window of a moving car because you could kill somebody.
Correct. You can't do that.
So
You could use them as a doorstop.
You can use them as a doorstop, a road bump. You could line them up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Make a little road bump. You know what's good about them, though, is they will last nearly a year if you store them properly.
I'm guessing someplace cool and dry.
Someplace cool and dry. They literally will last just about a year.
Well, that's good because
Yeah.
I have 13 of them. That I can see.
And that is a lot. That's a really lot. Yeah. So that's what's been going on in my garden. What about in yours?
Well, last week I canned peaches.
You did.
Yes, I got some Colorado Palisade peaches from a friend of mine. Thank you, Kelly. Got a whole flat of them. And, 80% of the peach crop was destroyed this year in Colorado because of that late killing frost we had in April. So they're really hard to find.
Was it 2020? Was it April 2020?
Thanks, 2020.
Yeah, again.
A half a star. That's what
a
I'm giving.
half a
I'm giving you
star.
a half a
Yes,
star.
yeah.
So
It's got demoted.
I have a present for you.
You don't have, oh, you do. Oh my God. That's beautiful.
This is my first time canning
Christy.
peaches.
Thank you. Oh, they're gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, thank you so much.
Well, I was thinking about your peach tree.
Yeah, not a peach, not a nothing. Nothing at all.
Not even a flower, huh?
Nope. No, they killed them. Next year, you will be a benefactor of my peaches.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, you will be.
Okay, what else is going on in my garden? I went out to my garden. I was deadheading sunflowers because if you deadhead them, you'll keep the squirrels away from your yard and you'll just get more flowers. And I thought, should I sharpen my nippers before I do this? Nah, I'm fine. I'm doing it. I'm nipping along, nip, 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 grabbing a sunflower with my left hand and the nippers in my right hand, and boom, I caught my hand just below the pinky and squeezed. And I had this moment of, I'm going to need stitches. Holy crap, what did I just do to myself? Isn't that weird when you do something like that to yourself, like when you bite your tongue or your cheek or but it didn't bleed too much, and it's fine. I got the Band-Aid off it now, but boy, I was scared. Careful when you're deadheading. That's my advice.
Did you have gloves on? Gardening gloves?
No.
I
did not.
Then.
It's hard to wear gloves sometimes. Sometimes you just want your hands to, but I should have
That's
had.
true. Yeah, but
I should have been
but
wearing
maybe
gloves.
when you're deadheading gigantic things like that, maybe you should.
Yeah, I should have been way more careful. I was very lucky. And I spent a lot of time cleaning up some powdery mildew. Do you ever get that?
Oh, sure. Especially this time of year. Yeah.
Especially in the fall,
Yeah.
on my cucumbers, on my squash.
Yep, I saw it today. This very day, I saw some on my spaghetti squash.
It's a fungus,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
What do you do to get rid of it?
Nothing.
Okay,
I personally don't do anything because it's end of the year. It doesn't seem to really hurt anything, does it?
Well, the leaf will eventually die.
Mm-hmm.
So I sprayed some neem oil on it to see what that does. And then I got rid of all the really bad leaves and the dead leaves. And I learned you should
I
not
do that.
You should
yeah.
not put them in your compost pile.
No.
You should throw them away.
Oh, Christy, that reminds me. I had a question. Somebody asked me about something you said last week. You said Don't mulch the iris. Did you mean as you lay them down to transplant them, or never mulch iris?
Well, that I never mulch them because you don't want the rhizomes to get rotted.
You never mulch your iris?
I don't mulch my iris.
Oh, wow.
At least not the top of the rhizomes.
Okay. But you can like mulch a little further away from them,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes. And if you mulch your cucumbers and your squash, that'll prevent powdery mildew. Mulch it.
Yeah, mulch it indeed. I don't have any. My cucumbers are looking great. Yeah.
I've pickled twice already. I think I've got 8 jars.
Oh, that's great.
And they're still coming in.
And you gave me a jar, for which I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so that's my garden this week.
Okay, well, good week.
Let's bring in the harvest.
Yeah, best time of all. Are you a gardener who is also a football fan? Who used to time your Sunday garden chores in order to watch your favorite games? If so, you might be feeling a little blue, what with the uncertainty of this year's football season. But help is on the way.
Christy and Edith, the ladies of Upside Down Tulips, will help you envision football in your own backyard, with you as the quarterback. Here we are on a brisk September day. I'm Christy, and this is Edith, and we'll be announcing the garden game today.
And the gardener comes onto the field. It's chaos out there, folks. The neighbors are going wild. The dandelions are throwing seeds into the radishes. The zucchini is in spread offense and running out of bounds. The tomatoes are tired and bent over with their own weight.
And the bindweed is in the slot. The gardener is on the field holding his hoe close. It looks like he's going after the bindweed. He uses his hoe to do a chop block, and he is chopping up the bindweed.
Oh, that's gonna cost him.
That's a penalty, but the refs do nothing, and the crowd is out of control.
And the bindweed has him in a tackle. The gardener looks left, looks right. He sees the acorn squash, and the squash is totally open. We've got the squirrels on offense to thank for that. The gardener breaks free of the bindweed. He goes for the acorn.
He's got the squash. Looks like he's going for a Hail Mary.
No, he's running a post pattern, running free from the back 40.
And he's on the 35, the 30, the 20. He might go all the way.
He's taking it to the house.
Touchdown! He's definitely getting the MVG of this game, Edith.
And no one deserves the most valuable gardener more.
This has been a public service announcement from the ladies of Upside Down Tulips.
This too shall pass, folks. And now it's time for Christie's Seed Trivia.
Let's talk about seeds.
Let's do it.
All right, Edith.
Yes.
Do you know what percentage of the human diet is comprised directly of seeds?
No. Do you want me to guess?
Yes.
Okay. 3%.
20.
How does that work? How?
What? Okay, here's another one. What do you think is the longest storage period known to have maintained a seed in the viable state so it could germinate?
Oh my gosh. I think that's like 100 years.
2,000 years.
Oh, wow.
It was a date palm.
Wow.
After 2,000 years, it could germinate.
Oh, that's great. That's like a dinosaur egg, except very different when I come to think of it.
Okay. I love you, Edith.
Oh, I love you too.
Okay. What species produces the largest known seed by weight? And what do you think is the biggest seed?
An avocado.
It is the Coco de Mer palm, which is a part of the coconut family. And it weighs 39.6 pounds.
I was close.
You were. Just a little bit off.
It's a little teeny tiny.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the record number of seeds found in the seed capsule of a certain epiphytic orchid of the tropical rainforest? So this is the plant that has the most seeds in its capsule.
And also a word I've never heard before, epiphytic. What a cool word.
It's a type of orchid.
I have now forgotten the question because I'm so taken with that word.
How many seeds? This has the most seeds of any plant in its capsule.
A billion.
Now you overshot.
Oh, darn.
See? They were too little, too big.
Little, too big. How much
It's
is
million, though. It is the
Hey!
smallest seed. It is
Wow.
1/300th of an inch, which is outside the spectrum of the human eye to see without a microscope.
That's mysterious.
Amazing how a seed could be 1/300th of an inch, or it could weigh 39.6 pounds.
Okay, I've not gotten one single one right, but I have one for you. I
Okay.
do know one seed trivia. What is the fruit that has its seed on the outside?
Strawberry.
Dang it.
Oh,
Yes. I was hoping you'd kind of go, what? Then I could feel victorious. The strawberry. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Seeds are so important to the survival of the human race that, the Norwegians have a seed depository built deep into a mountain on an island that is 700 miles past the Arctic Circle. And it will guarantee, hopefully, our future after everything else we're doing to ourselves if this pandemic ever gets over with. They have 930,000 varieties.
Wow.
Christy, almost 1 million. And 13,000 years of agricultural history are in this repository.
Seems like that would be so precious to take care of.
So precious to take care of indeed. Do you know that we've become like monoculture? Do you know that 90% of the fruit and vegetable varieties we used to have are gone since the 90s? We're just making everything the same now. And there's 200,000 varieties of rice inside the vault. And what's important about that is with climate change, what we have now may not survive. It may not be able to feed the human population. They are hoping they might have a seed that can. And that's why this is so important, what they're doing in Norway.
Isn't it great that there are people who are looking toward the future?
The Norwegians, yes, pretty darn good. Thank goodness somebody is. Yes.
It's hard, though, because when all you want to think about is just what's in front of us, what's happening today.
Right.
But you really do have to be thinking about the future. And
Yeah.
gardeners always do. We plant
They
things.
do, yep.
What's that phrase, too, about, the old men who plant a tree that they know they will never see
Yeah,
grow?
literally that's the meaning of human character, good human character. Yeah, absolutely.
Seeds are so amazing.
They are. They're. You can eat them, plant them. You can do those two things.
I also think it's cool, like the different ways that seeds have a way of getting around. How
Yes,
they travel.
yes.
They travel by air. They have a bird eat it, and it travels through the other end. They have burrs on them, so animals will walk by
Or
and they'll
us.
jump on it.
What about a milkweed seed?
They
They have
love
like
those.
a parachute. They
Those are
have.
so pretty.
Do you know that people used to use the fluff to stuff in pillows and stuff?
I believe
I read
that.
that. Yeah, like back in the day of the pioneers.
I have a butterfly weed, and I don't think it's technically a milkweed, but it has like a milkweed pod. And boy, those are so fun to open up.
Yeah.
And tricky to store a milkweed seed because they're so poofy.
Yeah, they're very poofy.
They get away on you, but man, yeah, they're so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that one of the great reasons to save and collect seeds is because this way you can save the best from your garden.
Yeah. If you're going to save a seed, pick it from the specimen that you feel is one of your best.
And you can have it forever.
Yeah.
That tomato, that zinnia.
Unless, of course, it's a hybrid. You can only do this with an heirloom or a heritage. But if you have a hybrid, there's no guarantee.
No guarantee.
That it's going to come out the same because they're kind of put together in a lab or something.
Personally, I think that's okay. You might get a surprise.
Yeah.
You might get a different kind of tomato. You might get a different color flower. Doesn't mean you still can't eat the tomato. Doesn't mean you still can't enjoy the flower.
Right.
It's a chance to embrace the mistakes that might happen.
Who
knows?
That's true. That's true. Some people, like myself included, kind of prefer knowing what we're going to get. You know?
Yeah.
Like last year, I had something cross-pollinated with my squash, and it just wasn't very good. And it took up so much space, So I didn't yell at it or anything. I didn't kill it, but that's why
You didn't shame it.
I didn't shame it. No, I should. I shunned it. I shunned it.
Sometimes a good shunning can
Yeah.
do a lot of work.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And every year it seems to me that the seeds get more expensive, and it's so easy to collect them.
Yes.
So easy.
I collect seeds, which we'll go into in a little bit about all the seeds that we collect.
Uh-huh.
But I still buy a lot of seeds. And at the garden center, I can maybe spend $50 on seeds. Because, if seeds are, $2.50 a packet, and I'm buying all these
Yep.
seeds, it adds up.
Do you know what has not worked for me is seed tapes?
Oh,
That does not work for me.
yeah, me either.
You too? Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
those.
like them at all.
They sound so smart, though, don't they?
Yeah. It sounds really smart. Lay down a tape and food will grow, but it has not worked for me. No,
The other reason why I collect seeds is because if there's an apocalypse, right? A zombie apocalypse, I would have trouble being a zombie killer. I can't even thin my carrots out. I can't kill zombies, especially if I knew who they were. But I'm hoping that I could get on a zombie team because people will want me on their team because I can grow food from seed.
If it's a zombie apocalypse, you don't think they'll kill you and take your seeds?
No, because I know how to grow them.
Oh, good. It's the
So I
only
have the
reason
knowledge.
to garden. Yeah.
Yes, so that's my one thing. I'm hoping people will keep me around. They want to keep me safe.
Yeah, because you can grow the food. Yes. Some seeds. Let's just talk about real briefly. Some seeds are poisonous to eat.
Oh,
That
yes.
we wouldn't want to eat. A lot of these are just from flowers, like the foxglove. In fact, maybe most of them. Jack in the Pulpit, Lily of the Valley, Morning Glory, sweet peas. This is an interesting side note. Remember Chris McCandless, who went out into the wilderness in Alaska?
Yes.
Do you know that
The book by John Krakauer, Into the Wild.
Yes.
That is such a great book.
John Krakauer thinks that what killed him was not just starvation.
Right.
It was eating the seeds of the wild potato, which you can eat, and the indigenous people eat this for, as long until it gets fibrous.
Mm-hmm.
And when it makes seeds, it makes the seeds poisonous so that the predators don't get them. It is ensuring
Seeds
its
are
own.
so smart.
So smart. It's ensuring its own survival. So that's what he thinks. That's what killed him, because it paralyzes you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he got very sick.
That's what. Yes, he got sick. He couldn't move anymore. So he lay down in his sleeping bag and he died.
Don't eat those seeds.
Don't eat the
Hard pass.
Hard pass. We don't really have wild potatoes around here, but if you're in Alaska, don't do it.
Hey, I'm the old lady who used to live in a shoe. I married Jack Spratt, who can eat no fat, and now I'm known as the wife that can eat no lean. That's right. I still don't have a name, but at least I don't live in a shoe. So now Jack Spratt, my kids, and his 8 kids live in his cottage. I didn't know he had that many kids. I can only count to 3. Kids, it's bedtime. Go to bed. Can you imagine eating no fat? Seriously? No donuts, no bagels, no bacon, no jujubes. He won't even eat one jujube. Kids, there's ho-hos and little Debbies in the pantry. You have to promise to go straight to bed after you have your snacks. I don't know what to do with them. They never calm down. So, Jack says to me, "You gotta grow some vegetables or I will divorce you." Well, there is no way I'm going back to that shoe. It's nice to live in a place that doesn't smell like feet. So I started listening to this podcast called Upside Down Tulips. Told me everything I needed to know. I have planted, watered, and mulched my vegetables. Everything grew and it's almost harvest time. Upside Down Tulips. Subscribe today. Plus, they have that website thing and that Facebook thing. Like I could even stand to look at another face with all these kids running around. If you already subscribed, tell a friend. Especially if you're married to a man that can eat no fat.
I'm collecting quite a few seeds right now. And then when you should we talk a little bit about how to collect them and what's
There's
a
a
good
lot
time?
of things.
Yeah.
Sure. Why don't I'll start with what I'm collecting now. Okay. So the lettuce seeds I have little like puffs on the top, the white puffs, so that they can fly. I have recently discovered that if I wait until some of that puff is gone, but the seed is still there, that makes it very, very easy to just go down, squeeze it, put it in a bag.
Nice.
It's not bad to put the white stuff in, but if you want to avoid that, just wait until most of it is gone. Also, never put green seeds in with everything else because it'll mold.
Dry them out.
Gotta
Lay
be
everything
dry.
out on a paper towel or some newspaper and let everything dry before you put it away.
Some things are very like my radishes. I pulled up the whole plant and I stuck it upside down in a big bag, and I'm waiting for the whole thing to dry out and develop because it's taken up so much room, and I wanted to plant again.
Was it already in flower?
Oh yeah, it
Okay,
already
great,
had the
yeah.
pods. Remember
Gotcha,
when we
yeah.
ate the pods?
Yes.
And we pretended to like them, and they were really awful and fibrous. So yeah, that
They were chewy.
they were so yeah. You say chewy, I say fibrous.
Let's call the whole thing off.
Bye bye.
You say chewy, I say fibrous.
Thank you, Whitney. Okay.
That's really more my Ethel Berman.
Oh, okay, Ethel. That was I should have known. That is totally on me. I'm also foxglove. I'm collecting, and they pop out and larkspur. So what I do with them is I cut them off, and quick put them upside down in a bag.
I do that too.
That's yeah.
You
Good.
have to make sure that the flowers are all gone. So you have to let the flower hang out there a little bit, looking a little ugly.
Yeah, and
Just for a little bit.
You'll see it. Then the whole thing dries off. The pods are dry and brown, and then you can even see the seeds if you look real close.
And a foxglove is a biannual, so it's always good to plant them every year.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. So what about you? What are you collecting?
I'll collect beans now. So my scarlet runner bean is starting to make bead pods eventually, and this is true for all beans. And you mentioned this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about harvesting, that if you harvest a green bean or a pea late, it's okay. Just let it stay there. Let it stay on the vine. Let it get all brown and dried up, and then pop the bean off.
Yeah. Christy, do you know what I realized yesterday for the first time in my whole entire life? That split peas that you buy at the store are literally just pea seeds that have been split.
So it is what it is. It's named what it is.
Did you ever think of that?
I never did. I always thought that was a...
Me too. I thought it was some fancy thing. No, it's just a pea that's been split.
I never knew that.
Well, I'm just making it up, but I'm assuming it's true.
I
mean,
believe
what else
you.
could it be?
I totally believe you.
Thank you.
And when you have those bean pods, don't open them up right away. Let everything completely dry out.
Yep.
I'm also collecting cosmos seeds,
Me too.
which I think are kind of fun because when the flower's gone and it has all the seeds there, it's so fun to take them off, and they're all these little,
Yeah.
I don't know, these tiny little things that just fall off in your hand.
It's very satisfying.
Marigolds.
They're fun because you can just take the whole pod of seeds. There's 300 seeds for one little pod.
Yeah.
Damn. Hey, do you know what else you can do? You know when you buy aspirin and they have those little silica gel bags?
Yeah.
Save them and put them in your seeds, like in your tomato seeds.
Oh, is that smart?
That way,
I love that. I'm gonna start. And you
yeah,
like
save them.
when you buy a new purse.
Is
you
it
can
in a
have those
new?
little- yeah,
I don't. Oh, okay. All right. Do you want to talk about how to save tomato seeds? Because there's a couple different ways to do it.
I can't wait to hear how you do it because
Okay.
you mentioned it, something amazing to me, and I want to hear all about it.
Okay, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, right now?
This is the moment. Now eat it.
Okay, she's going to
Eat
okay.
it now.
Okay, right now. Okay, so what you do is you take a ripe tomato and you scoop out with the gel. You scoop it out and you put it in a jar, top it off with water. Then you leave it there for 2 to 5 days, swirling it once a day so that it can ferment. The whole thing is to get it to ferment. There will be a scum rising to the top. Scum and gel rises to the top. The seeds go to the bottom. After 5 days, I always like to do things to the limit. Then you skim off the gel. Put the seeds in a strainer. Make sure the holes are smaller than the seeds.
Good point.
Put it under water, rinse it off, put it on a plate, on a paper. First, put it on a paper towel, dry it, put it on a plate, any kind of plate, and let it sit for 2 to 3 weeks, just to make absolutely sure.
That sounds great. I'm going to do that this year.
Supposedly that helps it to germinate the following year. I did that last year, and my seedlings were beautiful.
My best tomato plant is Jan Brady. Because if you remember, my tomatoes are on the Brady Bunch grid.
Yes.
And Jan is a persimmon tomato. And I tell you, they're the best BLT tomatoes. And the leaves are huge. They're as big as my hand. I'm going to do that with one of those.
Yeah.
Because when you do that, that plant likes your yard. It likes the microclimate.
I didn't even think of that. So you're bringing like the daughter of the plant back.
Take the best of your garden and repeat it.
I like the way you
likes
put
it.
that.
And if it's a plant that didn't do well, then sayonara.
Yeah.
Into the garbage if it's fungus or into the compost pile. But if it does really well, it means it likes you and your garden and your microclimate. It means your garden is telling you what to do.
Oh, that's really nice. In a gentle way, of course. Oh, that's really nice. My garden likes me. That's really nice.
I've been collecting pepper seeds too.
Okay.
And pepper seeds are a little easier because you just have to scoop them out and put them on a paper plate, on newspaper, let them really dry out before you store them away. I also love to do zinnias, poppies. Poppies are so fun to harvest.
Yeah.
Because they're like little pepper shakers.
Well, they remind you of really good pastry.
Yeah. You know? How do you store your seeds?
I put them in little tiny glass jars that I save, you know.
You're smart.
For some reason, I don't use plastic, but I like to use glass.
I heard glass is better.
Yeah.
I use little sandwich bags. Glass sounds a lot better. I have a whole little filing cabinet where I put things in.
Oh, that's nice. What about temperature?
Well, they're supposed to be in a cool place, which I'm not perfect at. My cool place in the winter is my garage, and my cool place in the summer, I really don't have one. Maybe in my basement.
Christy, I just leave them in the garage. They seem fine.
I leave mine in the garage.
All year round,
Yeah.
right? We are renegades in the seed part of this business, and we're fine, right? They're fine.
You find out what can germinate
Yeah.
in the spring, and it's amazing how long. I'm always shocked about how long things can last. How
Oh
a
my
seed
gosh.
can. I mean, not 1,000, not 2,000 years.
Right. But I never throw seeds away. If I throw them away, I throw them at the garden and hope they germinate. And they hello, grow. And they often do. Don't throw seeds away. Or at the very least, you can put your old ones in a place in anticipation of Christie's zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
Right? Because every year you collect seeds, you will always have enough seeds. You will even have some to share.
And you can brag to your neighbors. You can say, this is the tomato plant. Here's the tomato that I grew from seed. Here's the broccoli I grew from seed. And I buy little seedlings.
And Christy, people don't know how easy that is. I mean, some people will be impressed, but gardeners really won't be. They'll go, I do that too.
But everybody else is impressed.
Everyone else is like, whoa.
I grew my zucchini from seed this year. I was so proud.
I always do that. Just throw I don't even do a seedling. You just put them in the ground, right? Put a seed in the ground. There's no reason to make a seedling out of a zucchini. Yeah.
Save yourself $5 at the garden store.
Exactly. Yes, a lot of stuff just put right in the ground.
Guess what time it is?
I bet it's time for mailbag.
Ring, ring.
Yay! Hey, guess what?
What?
We have a letter from Germany.
Oh, wow.
This letter's from Laura in Germany, and she says, "Thank you for the podcast. I listened to the episode Garden Bugs, and I love it. We also have a small garden in Ladenburg, and I also started gardening a bit during Corona. Your podcast is therefore very informative and amusing to listen to. I also learned a new word. Roly-poly means Kellerrassel in German, a very ugly word in my opinion. Roly-poly is much nicer. I wish you a nice weekend. I'm still listening to the podcast now."
Oh, that's so nice.
It's so nice. Now, I have to make a little bit of an admission. She doesn't talk this formally, but I kind of Google translated it to make sure I had it all right.
So she wrote to us in German.
She wrote to us in German.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is interesting too. You know, I looked up roly-poly in German, and there's actually, just like English, we call it pill bug, and we call it roly-poly. In German, where she is, she calls it Kellerrassel. The other word is Kugelrund, which, you know how logical German is? It means bullet round, which means spherical.
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
hilarious?
That sounds like a pastry, though.
It does. Oh, it does. Now I'm hungry.
That is so cool. Thanks, Laura.
Thank you so much for that letter.
I have a letter from Diane from the Garden Spot of Colorado, Commerce City.
Ah, that is
Commerce
the garden
City.
spot. Yeah.
Halfway between the refinery and the National Wildlife Refuge.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said. Yeah, she's funny. So she's sharing us some things that she learned from her first vegetable garden. I never knew lettuce grew on stalks, which is true.
It's true when it gets older, yeah.
Plant more beans.
Okay.
You can never have too many beans. Mark the broccolini and the broccoli so you can tell which is which. Never mind. Don't plant broccolini. You can never tell when it's ready. Love that. Thai basil has pretty flowers.
And leaves.
Harvest cilantro regularly to keep it healthy and edible. Ain't that the truth? Space your plants according to directions. The red cabbage, broccoli, and tomatoes all could have used more room. Don't be deceived when you put them in the ground when they're young and you're worried about them being lonely because they look too far apart. They grow up and can be rambunctious teenagers, and then what will you do?
Yeah. Ground them.
Take away their iPhones.
Yeah. You can't go anywhere this weekend.
Chard grows easily and with little effort, and the bugs like it. But I discovered that I'm not such a fan.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't grow Swiss chard. Yeah, I don't grow it either.
No.
I discovered that succession planting is a thing, but somebody ought to tell the carrots, radishes, and onions. I got one harvest and the successive plantings didn't do so well. Oh, that's too bad. But it's still too early to tell.
It's too early to tell. Absolutely. Do not despair.
Hang in there. One yellow zucchini plant is enough.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the year I had 3 zucchini plants.
Oh.
What was I thinking?
I don't know.
Whereas one chive is a little disappointing.
Yeah.
She can come see me. I have a lot of chive. And then she says, a variety of cherry and large tomatoes means that you are well stocked for a longer period of time. My cherries I've been harvesting daily for a while. The beefsteak will be ready soon. Still, it takes a lot of cherry tomatoes to make them can-worthy.
You know, but that's a mistake that I made this year, just doing not enough varieties.
Just your Amish paste.
Yeah, the Amish paste, which nobody likes. So I had to wait all this while till finally my black creme are ripe.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And she closes up by saying, here's her summer koan, that's like a mantra, right?
Like a mantra,
Okay.
yeah.
My lettuce was ready in June, the cucumbers in July, and the tomatoes not until August. How did humans ever figure out how to make salad?
Good one.
Timing. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Diane. We loved hearing about your first garden, and I would love to hear about everybody else's first garden, too. So if you have some good garden stories, please write to us. We love to hear from you.
Yes.
You can write to us at upsidedowntulips@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
At our website, upsidedowntulips.com.
All the places. We're in all the places, Christy.
Do you remember that phrase we used to say, we're in the book? Remember that phrase?
Vaguely, yeah.
Like it meant you were in the phone book?
Oh, right.
Oh,
right.
look, call me. I'm in the book.
I'm in the book, right.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
There's no more book, so you have to listen to us asking you to write to us where we tell you to, if you want to, that is.
Oh, please do. We love hearing from you. Makes us happy.
It does. It's good. And now, a moment of inspiration.
This is by Robert Brault. If you've never experienced the joy of accomplishing more than you can imagine, plant a garden.
That's nice. Thank you for that, Christy and Robert, and thank you, everybody, for listening to us.
If you want to get our new episodes right away without having to search for them, please subscribe and follow us where you like to listen to your podcasts.
And if you have someone in your life that you think would like this podcast, please do them a favor and us as well and let them know about it.
Special thanks to Denise Gentilini for composing and performing the Upside Down Tulips theme song. If you'd like to hear more of Denise's music, go to denisegentilini.com and check out her new music video, or you can find that link on our website.
Also, thank you to our friend and talented actor, Billy McBride.
Don't forget, if you make a mistake,
your garden will forgive you.
Upside down tulips.